Hey guys, it's your boy Brian here with another podcast. We have a special tonight. Well, most of you guys are into movies. I know some of the guys are listening now. They're into movies. Um, but yeah, we're gonna try to tie it in with this conversation. People might say it's political. People might say it's not. It's a lifestyle. We'll see. Definitely with this one here. And yeah, I have special guest here, Kaitlynne Altman, who's a feminist. Hey, Kaitlynne.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Sweet. Yeah, most of you guys know. Not you guys probably haven't seen Kaitlynne. She hasn't been on the podcast, but you will see her more in the future, hopefully. But yeah, people who have been following me on Facebook know that I'm a conservative. Well, I'm mostly right leaning, and I am pro 2A, pro Second Amendment. So yeah, we'll have a feminist versus pro 2A conservative kind of discussion here. But yeah, not like a discussion. We're not gonna like debate or argue or anything like that. Just talking about what makes us us. And yeah, so yeah, we have 3 questions. Kaitlynne has 3 for me, and I have 3 for her. So yeah, let's get it started. She did say that I had to pick through number 1 through 5. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she had like 5 questions on hand. I was like, let's just chop it down to 3 and 3, just so it won't be as long and stuff like that. But yeah. So yeah, Kaitlynne, got no idea what number to pick now. Happens. So yeah, question, I guess number 2.
Okay. Wait, so you want me to ask it now?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you believe the Second Amendment is a crucial part of human rights, and how does it affect us all?
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good question. Yeah, like people who mostly know, like some of the, I believe guns solve a huge part of crime, a whole lot. Just yeah, guys, hear me out with this one. If you look up like one of the most violent places in America, they have probably the most strictest gun laws, easily. New Jersey, New York, Chicago. Those places have probably the worst. I'm a huge believer that all gun laws are unconstitutional. If you guys look up the Second Amendment, even says at the end, shall not infringe on everything. So right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. So anything that has to do with firearms, that's something that I'm completely against of any laws against it. But I'll go a little bit more deeper into that there. But yeah, like stuff like New York and stuff like that in Chicago, like it takes away the rights of a lot of good people. Like it's almost impossible to get a gun in Chicago or New York legally. Illegally, you can find them on the streets. That's how criminals get them. And they know people can't have them, or extremely hard for people to get firearms and guns. So it's one of those things that gun laws hurt people who abide the law, not people who are against it. Like for example, like in California, you can only have a 10-round magazine, which basically means you can only have 10 bullets in your handgun at a time, which is crazy for me. I know people say, "Oh my God, then you're probably just a bad shot. Why you need more than 10 bullets? Isn't that enough?" Like, no, I need as much bullets as I have possible. I don't know if I have 20 people coming at me, how I'm supposed to defend myself with a 10-round magazine. I know I can carry multiples on me, but you're gonna have to like switch them out super quick. But yeah, it's just some of the stuff. But yeah, it is definitely crucial. Everyone should own a firearm. Period. They definitely should own one. At least one per home. That'd be the best thing to prevent crime and stuff like that. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good question, Kaitlynne.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I like your answer. But also, I agree with you on like the New York part, like where it's higher crime rates, because recently I was researching that and I see that in New York City the crime rates are actually increasing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like by a lot too.
Yeah. Like at least
in just a month.
Yeah, they're really climbing a lot. Most of it is that, if you look up between 2020 and 2021, I believe we had 5 million new gun owners. All of them were legal. The ones that they had like registered, that never had a firearm. I've owned guns. I have never owned one personally until like when the pandemic happened. The civil riots, the civil unrest. It had me worried. So I was like, I'm just gonna get one, and now I have like 20. So I don't have 20. I probably have like 10. If I haven't counted them yet, and I'm pretty sure I want more. But yeah.
My brother just got one the other day.
Oh, cool. I need to see it now.
Oh, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a picture? You gonna send it to me now?
Oh no, I need to get a picture tomorrow.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, but that's good though. Yeah, Lisa, and that's another thing too. Just to put it out there, I don't want to take too much time on that question, but if you look up, I'm pretty sure Kaitlynne doesn't know what a hollow point is. It's kind of a bullet that looks like a cup.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, no, I'll send a picture to you. Just so I can show you to you. Let me see if I can send it while you're on the. I'm gonna put a picture up too for everyone that doesn't know what a hollow point is. But yeah, basically when they go into like not to be like on a, hopefully I don't get flagged for this, but like people, if you get hit by it, they sort of expand into like a flower shape. Like they turn into a mushroom, literally. Like when they hit like a body or any like sort of liquid material or meat material, they kind of like flare up, and it causes a lot of damage. Now those are illegal for whatever reason in New Jersey. I just sent it to you, Kaitlynne.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so, those are illegal?
In New Jersey. Yeah. For some reason, the politicians who made that basically thought it was unfair to criminals who try to rob you or try to kill you if you would use that against them.
How's it unfair?
I was like, so you're trying to help criminals? Like whose side are you on this one?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so basically these cause a little bit more damage, basically, and they stay within the body. 99% of the time they stay within the body once they hit, and it dumps so much energy that, and basically it puts people to basically like internal damage, and I'm pretty sure they're not gonna last very much if they don't get that part taken out. So, but yeah,
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, but yeah. All right, Kaitlynne. So, another thing too. Just to put it tied in, since Kaitlynne's a feminist, like even we've been seeing a lot more women owning guns now. Like within that 5 million that I said, about 3.5 million were women. So, hey.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Like normally when I go to the gun range, I don't see a lot of women most of the times. I'm not sure if. When I go, it's only guys, and then when I leave, probably just fills up with like women and stuff. But not sure, unless they have like a date or something. But yeah,
Plus, you taught a whole class of women.
Yeah.
And my mom is the one who just bought the gun for my brother.
Oh.
So it was under her name. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Yeah, it's always good to at least have one just for protection and stuff.
Yeah.
You never know. People be like, "Oh my God, why you need so many guns?" I'm like, "Well, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, we don't choose when bad stuff is gonna happen to me or someone else that they may need help." And yeah, I know guns aren't for everyone. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna beat around. Some people are just not into them. They just don't like them. I can't blame them. Like, there's probably personal experiences they had bad with them. If you look up like on YouTube, like you see tons of people like. You get these petite women that are like 100, 110 pounds, 5 foot, and they have them shooting like shotguns, and they're basically falling all over the place. They don't know what to do. So it creates a negative experience for sure. But yeah, that was a good question there for sure. So yeah, Kaitlynne, your turn. Oh wait, let me just ask you. I don't have them by number though. I can put them up by number though. Let me give me 1 sec. All right. So yeah, 1 through 5, Kaitlynne.
I don't know. 4.
4? All right. So yeah, so as far as like with feminism there, like what point in time you decide to be a feminist?
Wait, what do you mean? Like, do you mean like when does my feminist side kick in?
Well, not feminist side, but like when you decided to be like, okay, this is something I want to do. Like forever.
Oh, like you mean when I first wanted to become a feminist?
Yeah. Like what made you into that?
I love this question. Okay, you already know this. So, when I was 5, and I was watching Police Academy, for some of the people who aren't familiar, which I'm sure like most of them are probably familiar with it, but it's an 80s movie series, and I literally fell in love with Callahan. She was the main female character, and she was just so tough and
Yeah.
so strong, especially in a male dominated society, especially during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like really inspiring to me, and I didn't really know like the word feminism, but like I felt like I wanted to, like I felt really inspired by that, by like her strong side as a woman.
Yeah.
So like ever since that, I just love to see women along, like women on the front with men.
Okay.
So before I even knew the word feminism, I just knew I love equal rights, and like I love to see like everybody be treated equally and be able to show that women are just as strong as men.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like something that's been inspiring to me since I was only 5. And like, as you can imagine, like now I'm almost 18. So like, that's a pretty long time. So it's just who I am at this point.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's good. For sure, yeah. I mean, you have that hey, and that's where that movie tie-in comes in there for everyone who's watching. Police Academy, I think they have like 5 of them.
7.
There's 7 of them. Okay, so there's 7 Police Academy movies. People who haven't seen it should go see it. I only seen part 1. I've heard people say, "Oh, that's the best one." I haven't seen the rest, so I can't say personally. But yeah, I know Leslie Easterbrook is in it. Steve Guttenberg, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
I love all of them for different reasons, but she's definitely my favorite.
Okay.
Such a milestone character.
It is, yeah, because you have strong women characters in horror movies too. Like, I'm gonna say these the ones who I think are strong. I'm gonna say not because horror itself, like slashers, I think they're dominated more by women. Because you have like final girls.
Yeah. We
rarely get a final guy. Like Friday Part 2, I sort of consider that to be a final guy. Even though like has some like gay undertones and stuff like that, is known like, oh, the most gayest horror movie just because the guy's like a lead role. I don't see it that way at all. Like when I saw it, I didn't think of it like, oh, so this is gay, like gay undertones and stuff like that. Like no, the guy's pretty like he's being tormented by Freddy. like it doesn't.
Wait, which movie?
It's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah, I remember that one.
So it's basically called like the gayest horror movie for like other reasons and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm like, what? But yeah, like female like horror characters, they have strong ones. You know, you got Ripley from Alien. She's awesome.
Oh, true.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her. But yeah, like you get really strong characters. Not like they're in like females in distress kind of thing. They're more of like fighting. I'm ready to kick ass. Like I'm strong. Like like I'm just as strong as yeah. Go ahead.
That's why film is so important. Like it doesn't like it shows like lots of examples and kind of like opens minds to stuff like this, and it's just so creative. And you can learn a lot from it. So that's also how film ties into this.
Yeah. Also, I had a question. Does feminism tie into only like gender, like male and female? Like, is that what that means? Like equality between both sexes?
Like, do you mean is it like only for women, or like is it for both genders?
Yeah, basically that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, is it like equality between sexes or equality with everyone, but not including sexism, if that makes sense?
So feminism is like, it's mainly about equality, but I think it focuses more on reaching equality for women, since like they've had many more struggles as opposed to men since the beginning of history. But its real purpose is for equality for all, but like it does focus on gender.
Okay, because I was thinking of go ahead.
But like it's basically for everyone, but I think a lot of people misunderstand the word feminism because they think, oh, feminism sounds like feminine, and implying that it's only for women. But it actually is for all people. It's for everyone. And I wish that everybody would understand that, because so many people don't like it because they think it's just for women and it's man-hating, but it's really not. But a lot of people who actually don't want equality, like they want women to be superior or they hate men, they call themselves feminists, and that's not feminism.
Yeah.
So they're basically ruining the movement.
Yeah, they're kind of hiding between that, like making like a shield, kind of like, oh, not feminism, but I hate men, I hate male privilege.
Like, that's not feminism.
I'm like, that's not even a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I have a college near me, Lebanon Valley College. It's like probably like 5 minutes from me. They had a protest, and I'm pretty sure like they weren't feminists at all. They were like, oh, we hate men. It was when I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Brent Kavanaugh.
Oh, it sounds familiar, but I don't know.
He was supposed to be appointed to the Supreme Court. This is before Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, and he had like a whole bunch of like rape allegations. It never happened. It said, "Oh my God, this thing happened 40 years ago, and now it's suddenly coming up." I'm like, and they had a whole bunch of signs saying like, "Don't confirm him. He's a rapist. Don't like we hate men" kind of signs everywhere. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, like the "we hate men" thing is so stupid, because anybody who calls himself a feminist shouldn't be saying that, especially because the literal definition of feminism is believing that all genders are equal, and anybody who believes in equality. Yeah. So like that's not equality.
Yeah, it's just like you're basically, by saying that, you're separating yourself and doing the complete opposite. By doing that.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I believe it's called misandry. Not sure.
Okay.
That's the opposite of feminism.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Got to learn some stuff now.
Yeah. Or misandrist. Yeah, misandrist. I think so.
Okay. Cool. But yeah. All right, Kaitlynne. So I think you have another question for me. Let's go with number 1.
Okay. So when did you begin to become so passionate about the Second Amendment? Like, what made it so important to you? Because I know it's a huge part of you, so... Yeah.
Mainly it started... Because the thing is, when I was growing up, I never really liked guns. That was one big thing, too. Like, I didn't hate them. Like, I thought they were cool and stuff, but, like, me personally owning one, or having, or, like... seeing someone with it that wasn't a cop or something kind of made me feel uncomfortable at times. Until basically my brother bought a gun one time. This is probably about like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. I'm not sure. Between that time period, I can't point in exactly. I was close to my 18th birthday. Well, I'm 24, so I just gave away my age. So basically, probably like 6 years ago or 7, I would say my brother bought a gun. He was like, you know what? We should go shoot. Like he's always like had a gun when we lived in PA, because going everywhere was kind of a pain. With it, that basically where we lived at New Jersey, and we lived some in Puerto Rico, and it was almost impossible to get a gun there. You can get one. It's just you gotta go through so many hoops. It's almost impossible. Like, if you live in Puerto Rico, you have to wait. The waiting period to get a firearm, just to be approved to have a license for it, takes almost close to 8 months, which is insane.
That's a long time.
Yeah. By that time, like, let's suppose if someone comes, another example too, if someone comes threatening me, in New Jersey, they have a waiting day of 45 days. So imagine if it's right there, I'm there, and they're like, oh, okay, let's let me think right here. So basically, like, let's suppose if someone comes and threatens me and says, oh my God, I'm gonna kill you, or whatever, if I'm scared for my life, I gotta run to go get a gun. But when I get to the gun store, they're gonna be like, oh, there's a waiting period of 45 days, and whatever, in those 45 days, anything can happen, So that's another thing too, that kind of, but yeah, getting back to when my brother took me to the firing range, I shot out the gun, I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like, trust me, like, the first time if whoever shoots a gun for the first time know how fun it is. Like, it's something you can't even replace, but it's so fun. Like, you gotta wear headsets, because those things are loud. That's another thing too. But yeah. it's just one of those things. But yeah, like I slowly got into more guns, learning more about the Second Amendment. Like people, guys like Coleon Noir. I'm just learning from them, And just a question for you, Kaitlynne. It's not part of the questions I have. Um, but what do you think the Second Amendment was made for?
Well, I know that all the amendments were, and the government was made for the people, by the people. So, I mean, I figure that it was made so people could protect themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which makes a lot of sense because there's always been violence.
Yeah.
And it's just the natural instinct to want to protect yourself and the people around you. So I think that it was made just to protect yourself. So I don't think it should be taken away.
So protecting yourself from who? Who do you think they made that for? Like why? Like who do they want the people to be protected from?
From anybody who's causing violence or oppression or like
Hmm?
um maybe from like enemies, like from a different country
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah, you're pretty much right in that ballpark there. Mainly, the Second Amendment was made to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government, external, foreign or internal. Because the government itself, who who created the United States, like the founding fathers, they lived in a tyrannical government. Which, if it weren't for guns, like America would never even be existed. Because that's what basically helped them fight off a tyrannical government. They wanted to the British wanted to take away guns of people in America because they wanted to be oppressive and everything. So it just came to be about that. So yeah, that's
right,
one of the things.
A lot.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, oh my God, this thing was written when like muskets were around. But you got to remember, like people back then had muskets. The government back then had muskets.
Oh wait, what are muskets?
So, so muskets are like the old guns that you put powder in, like inside the. I'm gonna put it this way for making it more easier for you. The tube, we call it a barrel. That's where like basically like the bullets come out of. You gotta put a stick in there, put a piece of paper. It's kind of like an old shotgun, basically. That was called a musket. So yeah, that was basically when the government had that. The people also have that. Now, we do have a ban on automatic weapons. Guns that you pull the trigger and like 30 bullets come out of it, depending on the magazine. If you've probably heard that phrase before.
Wait, what phrase?
Automatic weapons.
Oh no, I haven't.
You haven't?
Wait,
okay, have you heard the term like assault rifle?
Oh yeah.
So what do you think an assault rifle is?
A rifle, which is a gun,
mm-hmm.
That is meant to assault a person.
Okay.
Like attack a person.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Like that would be like anything could be an assault weapon, right? Like I can assault someone with a piece of cardboard if I wanted to, right? But they wouldn't consider that an assault weapon. They're like, oh no, that's a weapon you assault people with. So by government, like people on, I'm gonna say it out there, like people on the left. I'm just saying the government side of things. But people think assault weapon is basically a rifle that has like a military style to it, which no rifle is made specifically for the military. If you look up like AR-15s, I'm pretty sure you heard those too. Like AR-15s, AK-47s, all those were made at first for civilian use. At first, but they were so perfectly made, that there's no jamming, there's rarely any jamming. They're just basically perfect weapons that the military opted to get them to. The government has some contract with certain companies that they send the rifle to. Like they have like basically privileges over that they're made to go to the government first, then to the people. But most things, the ones that the government have, like in the army, they're all automatic. Now you press the trigger and like the whole thing, it just keeps on shooting. Now the ones that civilian like us have, we have only that you pull the trigger once. You pull the trigger once basically, and only one bullet comes out. You let go of one bullet, you let go of the trigger, another bullet comes out. So that's the one that the people have. So we don't. That's one thing too that we as people don't have. compared to the government. Like if the government, that's why people say, oh my god, like the government has nuclear weapons. If they were tyrannical, you wouldn't even stand a chance. And then I'm like, okay then, so my rifle that most people on the left want to take away, I have nothing to worry about then, because you guys got nuclear weapons, right? Like, so this wouldn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, some stuff we're learning.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they were that the Second Amendment was also made for our just in case our government becomes like corrupt.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it was made
basically to keep like the government in check. That's why you see them. They'll say like, oh, we want to ban assault weapons, assault rifles. We want to ban anything that holds more than 10 rounds. Basically, what they want to do is slowly strip away that right. You know, if we go down like that won't stop a mass shooting at all. Like bad people don't get guns legally. That's the thing. Like that's another thing. Like people who are criminals, they don't abide by the law. So making more laws doesn't do anything at all.
Now I'm understanding why you're so passionate about this.
Yeah. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, that was some good questions. But yeah, so that's one thing I've been very defensive about, and I'll always have around. I'm pretty sure it's in the time. But yeah, I will also, there's some things too that, one sec here. For some reason, I'm getting a text message from, oh wait, it was by accident, no worries. Cause I think I have like a new app and people like send messages. I'm like, stop it! Okay, so, but yeah, that's one thing I'll definitely always have that. Now, I'll definitely have around for sure. Yeah. Everyone should hopefully own a gun. At least if you're not like a criminal, you should own a gun. I know some people say, oh my god, that's unconstitutional because, you know, felons aren't allowed to have weapons. Well, I sort of agree with that and I sort of don't. I'm going to tell you an example why, like, you know, like rapists aren't allowed to have guns. Murderers aren't allowed to have guns. Let me see what else. Mainly like sexual predators, they aren't allowed to have guns, which I'm okay with. However, the thing is, everyone should own a gun to keep also those people in check since they are bad. You know, if everyone owned a gun, they wouldn't be as much crime as they would be. Because criminals also gonna know. True. Criminals are gonna have that fear that, okay, like suppose if I'm a robber and I live in a place where everyone is allowed to have guns and I know everyone has guns. The chances of me trying to rob that place are going to be very slim, because I'm having the back of my mind that if I'm a robber and trying to rob that place, I'm not sure what's going to happen when I step inside that house. You know, so it creates that uncertainty that keeps people in check. Now, if you look places like Chicago, rarely anyone has guns, legally at least. So robbers just go in with their guns, take people's stuff, and leave, and the person got to stay there and do nothing, and like take it, basically. Like, how is that fair to anyone?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's making you more prone to... Yeah,
to be a victim.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it is.
People who get the guns illegally.
Yeah, they basically have an advantage easily. They're like, okay, they're banning people to... Not banning, but like, they're limiting people to have guns in this area. I can just go in and steal, because I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, the house I go in, they don't have one. So it's like, they have no worries about it. And by the time the cops show up, that could be 3 minutes. Anything could happen within that time. Like,
yeah, I always say that.
Yeah, like my cops, like normally when I've had like few issues where I live at, like mainly like neighbors screaming and stuff, and like cops take within 3 minutes to get here. But you know, 3 minutes, a lot could happen. Like that's another thing too. And you know, if the people don't open the door, the cops don't get in, and the cops basically got to leave because they just can't bust the door open because.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's true.
So it's sort of that thing. But yeah, no, there's some really good questions for sure. So yeah.
Thank you.
Woo! All right, so.
I liked your question too.
What was that?
I said I liked your questions too.
Yeah, they're fun. So yeah, so I think it's your turn, right? I need to give you a question. Is it?
Okay.
Okay. So 1 through 5. You picked. I think you said 2. I think I may be wrong. I got mixed up, but no worries. I'm just gonna ask. I'm gonna ask this one. So as far as like horror movies goes, like who would you put like if you had a Mount Rushmore of like horror female characters or just people who are feminists like in horror, like you would put in your Mount Rushmore? Name 3 actresses that you would put there.
Oh wait, I gotta make a list. I already have Neve Campbell.
Okay.
Definitely Neve Campbell.
Yeah, she's pretty strong female. Or I guess like feminist icons in horror movies.
In horror movies.
Yeah. You can't be putting.
Why can't I think of any right now?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you already said like Leslie Easterbrook, Neve Campbell. So we're missing one more.
Oh wait, yeah. Okay, wait. Let me. Oh, I know who I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Okay. So definitely Neve Campbell, because I mean I even read a whole article on how Sydney is just a feminist icon, because I mean she in every single movie she always comes back just like a baddie. You know, she's always fighting multiple killers, and it's just she like, and not only is she like facing killers, but she's also facing problems of like from her past, like with her mom. And I really like how the movie like focuses on like, you know, a female character.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they kind of mainly focus that like she's not like a weak character. Mainly she doesn't, she's not afraid to get her hands dirty, basically. Like, yeah,
she's definitely strong.
Yeah.
And as many times as people come after her, like killers come after her, crazy psycho killers, she comes back, like I said, like a baddie. Like, she never lets them get in her way. And I think that's really inspiring too. Like, I mean, I first saw those movies when I was like 11, and that was just really inspiring to me as well. Like, there's just something like really interesting about a female character who has a strong plot and like a strong character.
Yeah.
And shows that like they can fight off anything, especially crazy psycho killers.
Yeah.
And I think like in the horror genre, that's also really special.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you've seen Halloween H2O.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so you know how like I wouldn't say Laurie should be a feminist icon, but I'm just gonna put it this way: like, you know, the beginning of the movie, she's very afraid of Michael. She basically runs away. Almost time in the movie, she's just afraid of the guy. Like, her kid is her birthday. She's like, "Oh my god, you know what day it is today? Like, it's Halloween." Like, and her son is like, "Oh my god, mom, stop it! You know, it's been 17 years. When you think he showed up already?" Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then, like, at the end, you know, she's tired of running. Michael comes back. She's tired of running. And she just like, all right, this is it. Like, I'm going to die or you're going to die. Like, it's so badass. I'm like, yes, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I noticed. Yeah. I noticed a lot of people were editing Laurie from the first Halloween, but not the H2O one. And somebody was saying, like, why aren't people editing Laurie from Halloween H2O? Like, she's like really like awesome in that one. Like, in like out of all of them, she's the most.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite version of her. Like, she, like, you know, it's a whole arc she goes through. And the other movies, like the most recent one, like, she already has guns. She wants to kill Michael. Has Michael in front of her. Misses the shot. I'm like, wait, what? Like, come on. Like, I could even done better than that. It's some of the things. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked her in the new Halloween one as well. Like, I don't know. I think, like, the older that a final girl is, like, the more wise they become.
Yeah.
And, like, just the way that she was looking out for her daughter and her granddaughter, like, that was really cool, too. I just, like, you could tell, like, she already knew what she was doing by that one. And it's so cool. It's just so cool to see, especially the development, too. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, there's a lot of strong characters in horror. That's just like saying earlier. That's mainly horror drama has a lot of female strong characters, which is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and the other two characters. Well, I already explained Leslie as Callahan, but like that doesn't count as horror. So I'm just gonna say Leslie as Mother Firefly because I'm pretty sure that we can all collectively agree that Mother Firefly is such an amazing horror character.
Yeah.
Like and especially like Leslie playing as her. Like I haven't seen Karen Black as Mother Firefly, but I know that a lot of people have. And then they also have seen Leslie as Mother Firefly, and they always say that they prefer the Leslie's Mother Firefly because like she's just so powerful, and like you can tell like how much work she's put into that character, and that character also got the award for most vile villain, and I think that it's just so amazing that we live in a time now that like where women are getting awards for like being the villains in movies. Like that's also a milestone, and I think that's amazing as well. So that she's definitely a feminist icon in that movie.
Yeah.
And then Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. Yeah. That's amazing.
I love her.
Yeah, I know. That's why I also put her on the list because I love her too. But I know you're
probably
crazy about her.
Yeah, she's probably her best in part 2 in Aliens. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, part 1 it's great. I love part 1 and part 2. But part 2 it kind of gets that extra edge when she's just like, all right, let's fight. Like.
Yeah, especially the part where she's talking to I think his name is Hicks.
Yeah.
And then she's like, show me the gun, like. I can handle it or something like that because like he was underestimating her, but she showed him yeah she's just amazing in there. And I know that there was a protest, I think it was this year, like but months ago, and I forgot where it was. It might have been Russia, I don't remember. No, Poland. Yeah, Poland. It was in Poland, and they were going on like a women's protest. It was a women's march, and they were holding up Ripley signs, like as like like she's their feminist icon, like their feminist symbol.
Yeah.
So see, like that's why film is also important, like women in film, because it shows like real women in real life. It shows them a way, and it inspires them. So that proves how Sigourney Weaver as Ripley is also a feminist icon, like a really powerful and strong one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, some fun stuff there for sure. I'm learning a lot too, all this feminism stuff.
I'm learning a lot from you too.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I think there's one more question from you, and there'll be the last one will be from me. I think let's do number 5.
Okay. So 5 is more of like a random question one.
Okay.
Unless you want like one that's I mean it's still related to the amendment, but it's like kind of like a fun one.
Okay.
So I wanted to know, since you know so much about the Second Amendment and it's like you're very passionate about it, do you have any fun facts on the Second Amendment like that you'd like to talk about or like explain?
Definitely. Just like I said earlier, it was mainly used, against tyrannical governments, foreign and internal. And a lot of things too, that has come with the Second Amendment. There's just a lot of things that go along with it. Some of the stuff I just don't agree with because I think all gun laws are just unconstitutional in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wait one sec. Why is it my phone acting up? Please don't turn off. Let me give it a sec. But yeah, like there's just so many stuff to it. Like I think we're probably the only country who has like a law in place that we're allowed to have firearms, basically keep the government in check. If you look in like places like in Japan, most people aren't allowed to have guns unless you're a cop or go through extreme like training to get one. And once you get one, it can only be used for like target practice and hunting. So that's probably another thing too in Japan. Like, there's literally a law that says that people cannot own guns except for these
Wait.
reasons.
So what's the, if you know, what's the crime rate in Japan then?
So,
Which ones laws?
as far as violent crimes, there isn't much. Cause, and another thing too is, as far as like crimes, like, we're the only country who puts like suicides by guns as gun deaths, and we're the only country that does that for whatever reason. Yeah, so that's just another thing too, that it just ties in, because there's a lot of suicides in Japan. Like, that's probably their biggest problem. In America, that's not even like our top 10 like worry as far as gun deaths go. We do have someone have a crime issue. Most times, we put criminals in jail. They come out and they keep committing crimes. That's probably one thing that needs to be fixed for sure. Just to give an example, like, if you look up places like I'm not sure if you ever seen Chris Hansen. if you know who that is.
Huh? What?
If you know who Chris Hansen is.
No.
He's kind of, I'm gonna have to send you the videos. They're on YouTube. They're hilarious and sick. But basically, he kind of like sets like a sting up. A sting basically means that, like, a trap for criminals. And basically, they pretend to be like minors online, and they kind of invite people who are older to the house. And it's like like where the cops are at, basically, are in the house.
Ooh, that sounds like a good trap to catch people like that.
It does. A lot of people have like kind of say, "Oh my god," but it's kind of not fair because they never spoke to a minor. They were made to be a minor, but the person who was talking to them was actually an adult. So that's not against the law. There's probably people that are like that. I'm like, whatever,
Yeah.
same thing. The thing is, the criminal thinks there's a minor in the house alone, kind of thing. So basically, even places like that, I forgot what I was talking about. As far like what I got to say up to there, but I'm just all over the place. But like stuff like that, like sting houses and stuff, it's crazy stuff for that. But yeah, sometimes like they'll even if you see stuff like that online, it's kind of crazy out there as far as like crimes goes. But yeah, there's a lot of deterrence from that. But yeah, gun deaths in itself, like it's not even a worry in America. Like if you put like mass shootings are probably like 3% of gun crimes in America. Like 3%. People make it to be this big. Yeah, people make this as like the big thing, but most of the gun deaths are criminals, and at least more than 50% come from suicide. So, like, if you cut that number in half, we don't even have an issue at all. If anything, we probably have a mental health issue because of all the suicides.
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing is, in Japan, how you asked earlier, if like there's more knife deaths over there, it's because getting a gun is so hard. That's the thing too. It's almost impossible to get guns in Japan. Mainly cops use them, and yeah, once you even get a gun in Japan, you can't use it for self-defense. That's another thing. Yeah, but places like Mexico, almost impossible to get a gun. To own one itself, you can only buy, I believe, 100 or 200 bullets a year in Mexico. If you run out of bullets, you're done. Like, even
that's
like
very limited.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, like it's very controlled. But yeah, that's probably one of the better fun facts about it. But yeah, that's probably one of the facts that at least I know of. There's a lot more out there. Like Alaska, like if you look up like people in Alaska, there's barely any crime with guns. I do know some places have like higher crime rates. Mainly they're like people like stealing cars and stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's just because people are freezing and they need a place to stay. But
yeah,
that's probably one of my guesses. But yeah, those some good questions there for sure.
Ooh, I have another short question.
Go ahead.
Do you think that it's gonna become more difficult to buy guns in New York State?
That's a really good question. Mainly, the thing is, people continue to vote for the same people who have pushed those laws. If you look up, New York is a very liberal place. Mainly, a lot of Democrat voters are there, and I don't see even New York becoming Republican or having someone who or because I'm not saying all Democrats are against guns. Like I know like at least three
Yeah.
who are pro gun. Like they're like literally that's something that I wouldn't even touch if I was president. Like those kind of Democrats, like I like because they're just now like all into like, oh my god, guns are bad, guns are bad, guns are bad. Like only police.
Yeah, true.
There's people who think that police should have guns only, and just like why the Second Amendment was made for, is to keep those intact. Because if they decide to become tyrannical, we have nothing to fight against with. So
Yeah, exactly.
this is one of those things. And yes, people's like, oh my god, like you don't know how tanks work. Like people could buy tanks. Most people don't know that you can literally own a tank.
Yeah. And yeah, like it makes you wonder like why the government is trying so hard to take guns away or like limit them.
Yeah.
Like it makes you kind of suspicious.
Yeah, because like the Second Amendment was made so that they wouldn't take it away, and that's the thing they want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to take all. The people say they don't want to take all of them away, just these. I'm like, well, these are the best ones to use in case we ever have to fight a tyrannical government. Like it's one of those things that they want to take away the best of the best and leave us with the trashy ones. Oh, but the government can have the best of the best. They can have nuclear weapons. They can have all this, except for us, we can't. I'm like nuclear weapons and like normal people would kind of be crazy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to Walmart. I know how people crazy could get. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's not a fair fight. Like if that were ever to come down to it, like we're like in a trap.
Yeah, we're basically already too deep in a trap because we're not allowed to have automatic weapons. I don't like automatic weapons because they break easily. That's another thing too. Most people don't know. Like automatic guns, they kind of break easily. They kind of get messed up. They have a lot of malfunctions. So, but yeah, and it kind of wastes your ammo in like 2 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. Like you would literally be like, all right, if you missed all of those, like